Hey guys, this is your girl, Miss Analytical, coming back to you with another video that's going to be posted on YouTube that's being made with Spreaker Studio from Spreaker.com. Yes, I just uploaded a video about maybe 22 minutes ago regarding Umar Johnson and the possible truth behind his license being revoked. I'm going to go a little bit further and talk about how Umar Johnson's daddy is being threatened by Umar Johnson supporters, and his daddy had to make not one but two videos about the issue. In the second one, he's trying to reason with his own son to try to make him step in and to basically recant the statements that he's made about his dad in the past. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. I've watched his father, whose name is Jamal, make a video about almost a year ago. It was early this year. And it was pretty much about the relationship between him and his son being somewhat strained, and how his son didn't speak to him for a long time. Hasn't spoken to him for a long time. And that it really does have to do with his father leaving his mother, and the woman that he, became involved with, she wasn't black. Now, he didn't say she was white, but he didn't say she was black. Now, I heard from YouTube videos in the past that his father had left his mother for a white woman. Now, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to pause right there, and I'm going to give you my insight on that. I believe that that's where the root of Umar Johnson's issues is with his father leaving his mother. I really believe it. And I don't know what the race of the woman is. They say she's white. If she is or was white, that explains everything. That explains everything. Because it explains how Umar could throw his father under the bus without any feelings, and how Umar Johnson can basically allow his supporters to make threats. Now, this issue with Umar Johnson's licensing, that happened we're on the 31st, that happened about a week and a half ago, okay? Now, it went from him posting videos about that to his supporters immediately going after Umar Johnson's daddy. And I got to say to supporters that made threats to his father, y'all need your asses kicked. I'm going to say that because his father had nothing to do with any of that. Okay? Even if he did leave his mother for another woman, whether she was white, what this license issue has nothing to do with that. That's something separate. And to make threats against a man because you are a fan of his son and he didn't treat his son right, unless he was abusing his son heinously, which Dr. Umar Johnson never stated occurred. He just said his daddy didn't support him. What are you doing trying to threaten the man on social media? And the man was in the Marines. So I'm sure he know how to kick your asses or maybe touch you at places where he could just knock you out real quick. Because the Marines ain't no joke. But my thing with you all, Umar Johnson fans, is that you have an issue with the cult of personality. You like to worship people. And that's another problem with this whole situation is that Umar Johnson is being worshipped. Okay? He's being worshipped. He is a man. He is not a god. Okay? And you Umar Johnson fans, most of you are women. Let's keep it real. You look up to him as a god. Because he's the closest thing in your eyes that you feel is the best. And that's a personal problem that you all have. And his father, I'm going to say this honestly, I really think his father is a decent man. And I believe if his father had said he was going to build the school, that school would have been built by now. Let's keep it real. The way his father talks, that school would have been built. I mean, his father is breaking down not crying, but he's basically breaking down and really trying to reason with his son. He's pleading with his son. He's like, son, I want you to come and back and get it together. I don't want you acting like this. If you say that you're a doctor, you need to carry yourself in a dignified manner. I'm your son. I'm your father. You my son. I love you. So I'm going to have, love for you. The person that you against, that's a different story. But still, I don't want to see you beef with anybody because I'm going to call out your behavior, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. And that's a good parent because he's willing to say, you know what, I love my son, but I love my son enough to tell him the truth. Listen, you need to stop while you ahead. And that's the honest truth. Umar Johnson's problem, in my opinion, is that there's some underlying issues with his father that needed to have been addressed when he was very young. And they never got addressed. And I believe that Umar Johnson could have had other issues down the line. And this is like psychology 101. The fact that Umar Johnson never really resolved what happened between him and his father affected him in future relationships. And it affected him even now with building this, with the school. Is with his father. That's his problem. But his father, I gotta say, I commend him for wanting to talk to his son. I commend him for that. But I also think Umar should talk to his father. I also think that we as people, we have to stop idol worshiping because that's dangerous. Because what if God, I don't want to say it, but what if somebody who is such a huge Umar Johnson fan decides to see his father and attack him? And the fact that Umar never stood up and said, don't bother my father. My relationship between me and my father, whatever is between us, that's between us. I don't want you as my supporters to get in the middle of it. That's what a real man would have said. But Umar Johnson didn't say that. He allowed it to continue. He allowed the threats to occur. And that's wrong. And this is why I'm saying, why would you want a person like him to teach your boys? If he would allow people, his supporters, to threaten his dad, and he never said my dad abused me. He never said my dad molested me. He never made as an accusation that his father abused him. It's just that him and his father don't see eye to eye. Why would you want to put your young boy in his hands and have him look after them and guide them to make them quote unquote better men and better for society, mainly black society at that? All of you supporters who have threatened him, not the supporters who haven't, but those who have, you need to look at yourself in the mirror. You need to say that you are stupid, you are an idiot, and you need your head checked. Seriously, you need your head checked. Because this overzealousness of worshiping Umar Johnson is sick. He's a man, and he's a man who's facing the possibility of losing his license. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. And Jamal Johnson, because that's Umar Johnson's father's name, he even said that fake accounts have been made in his name. They've even posted photos of him and his family. You gotta be sick, man. And for Umar Johnson to not stop that, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a little bit sick on him. He may be a little somewhat enjoying this. You never know. Because if I had issues with my family and I had fans and I was a public figure and my supporters made threats, I would tell my supporters who are doing that, I don't want your support. I don't need it. Because you can cause a tragedy within my family because you may want to hurt my family because I'm having a disagreement, and you may take it to over the top saying, oh, well, they don't like her. Oh no, fuck them. I gotta take him out. And I don't want to say that, but it's reality. Like, what Umar Johnson is doing is wrong. It's wrong. And I think his father's a good man to plead with his son. I really do. I really, really do. And I hope that Umar can sit down with his father, Jamal, and they can reconcile. And even if they, regardless of what becomes of it, hopefully it's peaceful, the resolution behind it, and that they can still have a father and son relationship. Because I believe that that's where the hurt and pain Umar Johnson has. I believe that's where it comes from. I believe it comes from his father. So that's the end of this video. This is Miss Analytical signing off.